Good morning. Let's see if we can fix some audio here. Whew. That's not where I fix audio. Try a different spot. Any better? Maybe? Possibly? How about if I move you over here, put you down here? Because I'm going to be on the floor today. Here's hoping that fixes things. Because, let's see here. Maybe better, possibly, we'll see. Minimize that. Let's go to the game on screen. Hello. We're going to do things this way today. That way I can see that. You know what we're going to do? We're going to flip-flop this. This can go like this. There's that. Okay, and then we'll take, where is it? And we're gonna shrink this down. And then we're going to take me out of the picture. Slightly. We're gonna hang out down here because it's about St. Jude. It's not about me, right? There we go. Okay. So this little mess right here is all of our little warp. That little mess right there. Warp. Sorry, weft. That's our weft. That's our warp. Weft. Warp. Warp. Weft. Now you learned weaving terms. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. Okay. You. What? I was just logged in. I was literally just logged in. Like, we set this all up before. I must have just expired. There we go. Let's go to my asset library again. Let me go to type. Go down here to video. We are literally gonna sit and watch pretty much through all of them. Alright, let's unthing that. We're gonna do a line by line. There's the first four.
Hi, my name is Doug Vini. I'm a content creator, also known as Good Game Bro. We'll be back tonight around 9:30. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a dad of 2 wonderful kids. And I love supporting St. Jude. So I grew up in a very small town. LaRae, Virginia has maybe 4,500 people. There's not a lot to do, and it's very easy to get in trouble there. And so it's really important for me that for those kids that are still in that hometown, that they have an opportunity to do something different. They can go to the West LaRae Rec Center. The rec is what we sort of call it. That building is super important to me. During segregation, that was the schoolhouse that my grandmother and then my dad, my aunts had to go to. So knowing that they have a building that was so important to our neighborhood that is now repurposed in a way where kids from all over, they can go somewhere that's a safe space for them. Any way that I can give back to help them have, the same things that I was fortunate enough to have through good people in my life, even though I'm not physically there, it's important for me to be able to help them in some capacity. My grandmother kept me out of trouble. Gaming is always something that I've done, but getting into the gaming influencer side was really my grandmother. In high school, we had a senior project. I go to my grandmother like I normally did, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, well, why don't you build a website and talk about video games? And I did that as my senior project. It did really well. And then that quickly turned into, writing about games, expressing my love through games that way. That turns into content creation where I'm making videos, and I realized that was really a true passion of mine. To all the different people that are, watching my content, I try my best to impact them in some positive way. Back in 2018, my wife and I were sort of talking. Content creation was doing well for me, and we were sort of just thinking about, like, what's next? What aren't you doing that you probably would want to do? And there was an opportunity to work with St. Jude, and I jumped on it. I think growing up, when you're seeing the commercials, you're seeing kids that are sick, and you feel incredibly, bad for them. But when I started to work with St. Jude, you learn more about what your donations actually go to, the transparency behind that, how families are given an opportunity in their most vulnerable state to not have to pay anything. As a father of 2 young kids, I can't imagine having to be in that spot and what those families probably go through. But knowing an organization like St. Jude is there, I can't imagine a better feeling in a situation like that. Man, are you struggling? So as a content creator, you started your stream, you're at zero, you have no idea what people are going to do. This is your first charity stream, and it's the name recognition of St. Jude. It's the mission. It's talking about all the things that St. Jude's able to do for these families, mixed in with some jelly beans that are disgusting at times. Barf or peach or dead fish or strawberry banana.
Oh, I don't want to eat that.
When we hit the $10,000 mark, it's overwhelming because I realize that we're doing something that's going to benefit quite a few families. Seeing my community sort of have this groundswell of excitement and appreciation, and just, for me, I think that's the power of gaming. People from every walk and creed in life, when you do a St. Jude stream, you end up finding out is that more and more people have a connection to St. Jude and it's impacted them. I think my community is very proud about that because this can actually impact and help the people in your life. It could help a kid down the street. It could help someone else that deserves that opportunity to be able to survive and move forward with their life. All of my content, I use the same exact little catchphrase. I say, be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. To me, I think that's super important because if you're doing that, you're taking care of yourself, you're making good decisions, and you're reaching out and telling somebody you love them. You never know when someone needs to hear that, and maybe you just need to tell them that. That's what you want, right? You want to help people, and you want to help them just like you were helped at some point in your life. So nobody does this alone. We all need a helping hand at some point.
I need a minion.
Hi, everyone. Please take your seats. The show will start in 5 minutes.
It's starting. It's already started. I said we're watching all of them. They worked really hard on all these.
Shh. Everyone, the show is about to begin.
She's so cute.
Colton's personality is very loving, very supportive. He's one of the most caring children I've ever met.
When he started the chemo, it just made him super, super sick. But even him feeling bad, he's seen some of the babies. He felt worse for them. He tells me one day, he says, I wish I could take all the cancer from all the babies so they wouldn't have to feel this.
When I grow up, I want to be a nurse for St. Jude or just a doctor. Because they help me. I want to return the favor and help other kids.
I work for the fire department, and I'm an EMT as well. When people call us, we're there to fix a problem. And when there's a problem that I can't fix, I don't know what to do. There's nothing in the world that can prepare your mind for hearing your child has cancer.
I had pain in my side, and then it got worse and worse. Then we went to the hospital. My mom was trying not to make me be worried, so she said, oh, you just have a scratch on your stomach. It's gonna be okay. And then we got to St. Jude, she just told me it's a tumor, and then I was kind of scared, but not really.
It had spread to his lungs, and there was multiple decent-sized tumors and then a lot of very small tumors. St. Jude's is a place to be from what I understand. So I feel like we came to like the epicenter of where they're doing all the groundbreaking research. So within 2 weeks, they took and removed his kidney along with the tumor.
They took it and researched on it so they could help, like, find cures to help kids that have that. Some days you feel really bad and some days you feel really good.
He's handled everything like a champ. No matter how bad he's felt, never complains. He was more worried about us than himself, you know. That's just who he is. Being here, it restores my faith in humanity. We came here with the fear that our son may not leave with us.
But to hear that he had a clear scan was the best news we could possibly get.
There's not a tumor in sight. Probably one of the happiest days of my life.
My doctor said, you have no more cancer, and we were like, oh my gosh. I can go back to having fun. I can be a kid again.
Time to advance. Honey, the video's on.
I need your help.
Okay. I'll be right back, guys.
Childhood cancer is devastating. But with it, there is hope,
I'll be right back, guys.
especially with places like St. Jude. There's hope. My son Deshaun is a patient here at St. Jude. He was diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, cancer of soft tissue. When I heard the physician said, "Your son has cancer," I felt like I was hit in the stomach with a ton of bricks. Devastated. When we walked into St. Jude for the first time, I immediately felt hope. With the type of rhabdomyosarcoma that DJ has, it's more aggressive, meaning it will grow extremely big, extremely fast. This is our third round. This may be something he has to just battle with for the rest of his life. And so now they've gotten it to a point where it's stable. So for that, I'm grateful. With this comes a lot of financial difficulties for families. Because of St. Jude, we haven't had to worry about a bill. We haven't had to worry about where his medicine is going to come from. St. Jude is a godsend, and I will scream it from the top of the highest mountain. They help families like us. They do. For the people in the organizations that support St. Jude, I can't say thank you enough. Literally, it's because of people like them my son is still alive.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. The cat decided that puking under the bed was a great idea.
It's a glittering premiere at the Chicago Theater for Warner Brothers. I'll See You in My Dreams. A real dream has come true. For this benefit premiere launches a drive for a new hospital sponsored by the film star Danny Thomas, here arriving with his family. Years ago, Danny vowed he'd build a hospital if he ever became famous. $32,000 are subscribed, the first of $1 million Danny Thomas tells friends he'll raise for the St. Jude's hospital of his dreams.
They said it couldn't be done. They said that it was a task which would break my heart. They said it was impossible. At this very moment, as I speak to you, in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, there is being constructed a hospital in the form of a star. There it is, in concrete, glass, and steel, to offer help to all the children of the world, regardless of race, creed, or economic status. You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases. We're going to begin with leukemia, and by God's grace, after defeating it, go on to other diseases. That little tiny building has led the world in advancements in pediatric science and clinical care, and now it's going to rise up. You will bring it to the fore through an organization called ALSAC. If I were to die tomorrow, I now know why I was born.
While we're sitting here making this video, there's a family that's walking through the front doors on a Friday afternoon, and they're at St. Jude. When we came to St. Jude, I asked the doctor, "Can you treat my child?" And he said, "No. We're going to cure him."
Hey y'all, my name is Javon, and today we are going to do my favorite comfort food, the tater tot casserole. However, in other parts, they call it a hot dish. So right now, I got my ground beef to a brown. So right now, that looks good, right? This right here, which is the cream of mushroom, it looks kind of weird, but it's gonna look good at the end. Mix up together, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. I already have the other ingredients, which are tater tots, my favorite. I also have my cheese already grated. So right now, I'm going to layer it. I learned this recipe off of one of my grandma's books. So it's a very old Southern book, but I also did this in college because I was a broke college student, okay? And me and my crew, we went to one of the dormitories that had a kitchen, and we just put something together, and boom, it's one of my favorite creations. Now that I have all this goodness all layered up, I'm going to put this in my oven at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. For everyone to support St. Jude, without you, I would have never graduated elementary school, high school, college. So I'm so blessed that I gained a new family, a new perspective on how to see the world, how to see people. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Y'all, this has been so much fun, and I'm so ready to dig in. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, just look at it. Just look at it. I love it. All right, I don't know about y'all, but I'm finna go eat. See y'all later. Bye.
Cancer is not fair. We need to fight harder. We need to understand better. We need to take steps forward.
It is so heartbreaking to see the parents, how they react, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to say no.
A lot of these children, they have dreams. I want to give these children a fighting chance.
The doctors would tell us, you know, when patients hear about this, they don't come back anymore. They just wait for the disease to take over. We just accept it, let it happen.
St. Jude was founded in the 1960s with a goal that no child should die in the dawn of life. And that means any child suffering today of cancer is our responsibility.
At St. Jude, we don't care who cures cancer, we just need to advance the cure.
Our mission is local and global.
Real victories are those that protect human lives. You should be the hope for any child across the globe.
We all exist here on this planet to benefit others.
If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
I think it's the kind of place that stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer.
St. Jude is bold to try and bump cure rates all around the world.
Unbelievable courage to tackle the impossible.
These are the kind of discoveries that you want the world to have.
This is the movement.
We could save more lives.
St. Jude, they're saving so many children.
This is the effort.
So we want to reach out to more children and cure more.
Transform the landscape of pediatric cancer care across the globe.
Help humanity at large.
Every child with cancer should be cured.
Our work's not done. Every child
should be able to live a long, healthy life.
And we will not stop until we cure all these children.
You're doing something good, not only for the patients, but for the world. When Danny Thomas said no child should die, he was thinking about kids all over the world.
Hey y'all, my name is Jude, and thank y'all for tuning in for my series. So right now, I'm going to make my mac and cheese. Everybody say mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. So this memory with the mac and cheese, I got diagnosed with cancer at the age of 2 during 2003. I was diagnosed with ALL. I beat cancer so bad that they wanted a rematch twice. And of course, I'm here. I beat cancer 3 times. During my relapse, I had this weird craving for cheese. I had to have my cheese. My favorite was mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. So right now I'm going to make my roux because we're going to bake my mac and cheese. Some butter, my flour. I'm gonna give it a little stir so the roux can create. Add my heavy cream, some garlic to add some flavor, a little garlic powder, a little paprika for color and also flavor, some onion powder, a little bit, a pinch of salt and pepper, a little milk. And it's okay to get messy in the kitchen. That means you're doing it right. We're gonna add the cheese, more cheese, cheese tax, more cheese, lots of cheese. Ooh, all right, this is looking real good. Ooh, that's good. Now I'm going to get my noodles that's already been cooked, add some butter. All right, now I'm going to pour this bad boy. This is heavy. Ooh, look at that. More cheese. The legacy of St. Jude and Danny Thomas. It's breathtaking because the work that St. Jude does to find a cure for cancer is amazing. Thank you for your support. Thank you. All right, y'all. This bad boy been in the oven for like 30 minutes. It came out so beautiful. Like, look at it. Just look at it. Oh, this is so good. I did that. Okay. I love y'all. Bye. Hey everyone, my name is Javon, and this is my famous fried catfish, dirty rice. This is so good. Follow my recipe so y'all can eat like this. This is really good. We have our catfish marinated in buttermilk. Pat it down, pat, pat, pat. I'm going to dab a little mustard to keep the seasoning on the fish. I actually learned this recipe from my father and revamped it myself. When I cook in my fried catfish, there's a memory behind that too. I've battled cancer multiple times. I've pretty much been at St. Jude pretty much half of my life, from the age of 2 all the way up to the age of 16. Different chemo protocols require a different dietary restriction. Once I got off of that dietary restriction, that was the day, oh my goodness, I got my favorite seafood. The bag is not cooperating. Shake, 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 shake. There we go. It's ready. It's ready. So, ooh. How I know the fish is done is when it turns a golden brown. And this is so good with my famous dirty rice. And that consists of ground beef, celery, onions, bell peppers, and all my other fixings. For everyone to support St. Jude, I wouldn't even be here without you all. I'm so blessed and thankful that St. Jude is here, and I am part of that legacy. As a good chef, you always gotta taste your food. It's really hot. It's got a good kick. This is my favorite meal to do. My fried catfish, my dirty rice, and a little bit of green beans. Y'all, let's take a bite, let's take a bite, let's take a bite. Come on, y'all, let's take a bite. Yo, this is good. I didn't outdid myself. That's good. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got that recipe. You get the recipe, right? Okay, bye. I'm finna go eat. See y'all later. Bye.
A promise made in the dark, lit by a single flame. A desperate prayer for guidance, for direction, for a sign. And in return, a vow to one day build a shrine in the name of all who are hopeless. This was the beginning, quiet and solemn. But soon, this sacred vow would become a mission. As the light from that single candle grew to a torch of promise, passed through time and generations to millions around the world. As that vision took form, it would be given a name and a purpose. and a statue would be raised as a proud symbol of that hope, one that would stand watch over desperate families, protecting and guiding them in their darkest hour. This is where the work would be done, forever changing the fates of children diagnosed with cancer and other life-threatening diseases. This is where brilliant minds were gathered, perched at the leading edge of science as they ventured into the darkness, seeking better ways to understand, treat, and defeat the diseases that took children's lives. Hundreds of supporters would grow into thousands, then millions, fueling the work required to raise survival rates and keep families whole. What was once a death sentence for children will ultimately become survivable as word of this remarkable place spread around the globe. Momentum continued to build, and people from all walks of life would lend their support, united by the singular vision that no child should die in the dawn of life. This is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Since 1962, when St. Jude first opened its doors, we have stayed true to the promise that no family would ever receive a bill from St. Jude, not for treatment, travel, housing, or food. And St. Jude shares its groundbreaking discoveries so that every child saved at St. Jude means that doctors and scientists can use that knowledge to save more children around the world.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine.
Our mission continues to unite people from all walks of life in a common goal, to support the research and the patient care necessary to at last vanquish the pediatric cancers that take our children from us.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
My father, Danny Thomas, once said, "Those who support the good are as those who do the good." And these very words have been embraced by millions for more than half a century. Thank you for supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and for carrying forward the light of that first candle. With your help, we will continue to find cures and save more children here and around the world. We won't stop until my father's dream is realized, that no child should die in the dawn of life.
If there is anybody who knows that life is short, it's a pediatric oncologist. I've been doing this for 2 decades. I have to tell you, it still hurts. In this place, we may lack a lot. We run out of IV fluids, we run out of medicines, we run out of many things. But I think what we have in abundance is love for patients. I work in a place located in the southern Philippines in an island called Mindanao. And here in Mindanao, we expect to see 1,500 new cases of pediatric cancer every year. We are the biggest public hospital in the island of Mindanao. More than 80% of our patients come from outside of Davao City. Mindanao is not just a huge swath of land. There are also islands, and some of our patients come from those islands. Coming to the hospital is not easy, and when they come here, they do not have a place to stay. And if a child has cancer, it would require weeks and even months of treatment. Our patients could not even afford the cheapest medicine that we're supposed to give them. It got me to thinking, what am I trying to do here? Trying to cure cancer when I couldn't even provide the most basic thing for patients and families. I realized that being a doctor is not enough. I started House of Hope. House of Hope is a home. It's a place where children with cancer and a parent can stay in the duration of their treatment. They are provided as place to sleep. They can cook their own food, they can wash their own clothes. You can hear the kids running, you can see the kids playing. They forget they have cancer and they can be there and just be kids. The drugs are very, very important, the medicines, the chemotherapy. But equally important to this is having a place to stay near the hospital that will allow the child to keep coming back and being able to complete treatment. I realized that simple thought had an impact. Because it used to be when they don't have a place to stay, they get diagnosed, they go home and they don't come back, and the child relapses and eventually dies. But because there was House of Hope, they can stay there for months. Our treatment abandonment initially was more than 80%, and now we've brought it down to less than 20%. St. Jude has been a part of the things that I've been doing from way back. We've been a partner since 2006. We're not reinventing the wheel because we see a model that we can aspire for. And St. Jude, with its expertise and its capacity, is able to reach more children across the globe. It has helped not only the medical side of what we are doing, but also the resource generating side, so that we could reach more kids and we could cure more children, regardless of where they are here in Mindanao. If in St. Jude they can have more than 90% survival, if I can do with 40, that's halfway there. It might not sound good enough to many people, but when you are a place that has very little, it's actually quite a lot. That was what St. Jude has done. Our overall survival way back when we started was less than 10%. Right now, we're moving at almost 50%. There's so much that needs to be done, but we're beginning to do it. We're beginning to have kids who survive cancer and living their life after cancer and living as if cancer didn't happen. Who have love problems instead of cancer problems. We realized that we were not only saving lives, we were also saving futures, and we were making dreams come true. And that puts the whole thing into an entirely different perspective. It takes a lot. It takes a whole village. It takes a whole world to care for a kid with cancer, and everyone is important. And to be part of something like this, something that is bigger than ourselves, is what a life is worth living for. Every kid matters, regardless of where they come from.
Mi nombre es Yamila y tengo 7 años. Cuando estaba en Puerto Rico, yo tenía un cáncer, me dolía el estómago y la cabeza. Se me fue el pelo. Me tengo que pusir esto para que no me vean en el pelo.
Recién cumplido los 3 años, ella sentía unas molestias.
Le salían moretones en los brazos, en las piernas, le dio fiebre.
Cuando llegamos al hospital, que le hicieron un CBC, pues ahí nos dijeron esto no está bien. cáncer es devastador. No estábamos preparados. ¿Qué vamos a hacer ahora? ¿Qué va a pasar con Yamil?
Vinimos con mucho miedo, pero cuando llegamos aquí fue un cambio completamente. Luego del trasplante regresamos a Puerto Rico, nos mantuvimos 2 años con ella en remisión, pero un verano ella comenzó a tener un reflejo en un ojo, se le veía un ojo rojo, empezamos a ver que tenía fiebre y encontré que había recaído.
No me esperaba tener esto. Sé que es triste para mi familia. Es algo difícil para los niños que tienen cáncer.
Sus ojos me dicen que hay esperanza, que ella va a superar esta prueba. Por tercera vez, pero la va a superar.
Me acabo de graduar de high school y ahora estoy buscando una universidad de arte. Quiero estudiar animación. Después de todos estos años estoy en remisión y estoy bien.
San Jude no nos ha cobrado nada. San Jude nos ha dado todo el tratamiento, el mejor tratamiento que se le podía haber ofrecido, se lo ha dado completamente gratis.
San Jude le devolvió la vida a mí.
San Jude me hizo más fuerte, me hizo más feliz, me hizo más que podía lograr todo.
Emma is my daughter. She is my first and only child. Prior to going to her 9-month checkup, we had some concerns. She was able to sit up and able to crawl, but it seemed like she was uncomfortable doing so. At the end of the appointment, the doctor had said that she was growing on track.
We're about to leave. And I'm asking the doctor, like, oh, you didn't tell us the percentiles, because I need something to boast about, right?
My husband likes to guess the circumference and measurements of everything. So he asked them to go back and verify her growth measurements, and they went out to check, and then finally the doctor came back in and told us that they were going to schedule a CT because her growth percentile raised more than a certain percentage between the last 3 months. I was nervous. That's the first medical experience that we had. But the CT went well, so we left and went about our day. When I got home is when we got the news. They had found a 5-millimeter mass, as well as severe hydrocephalus. That was the tough phone call, and I was just so choked up and just panicked. We had to take her back to the emergency room. They immediately went in to release the pressure that was on her brain. The pressure was so much that it had started to compress her brainstem. They told us that they don't think that she's gonna make it. I was gonna take my 9-month-old into the hospital, but not leave with her. Our handprints and her handprint up in the window across from her room. They took those that weekend because they thought that those were her. That was our memento that we would have from her. So that was a tough weekend for sure. She made it to Monday and she went into surgery pretty early that morning.
It went incredibly well. They were able to remove most of the tumor that very first time when they were just going in for a biopsy.
And within the week, she was in St. Jude and starting a course of chemotherapy. As we went through the process, those original beginning months of chemo, those were terrifying. I remember walking to the cafeteria with my husband and not being able to control my tears.
That was a hard thing for me to take in, because as a man, you're taught that it is your job to protect your family. But here is something that I cannot do. I cannot fix this. The only thing I can do is pray and have hope that God will put the people in front of you that can.
The positive atmosphere that surrounded her at St. Jude definitely made it an easier process for us. That pressure and that intense dread that you feel when you're at a hospital definitely started to melt away.
When you start to see the relationships that the nurses have with the patients and how much their hearts bleed for them, that's when you start to just be flooded with the hope that comes from St. Jude.
They scanned again after that first month, and they found that her tumor had shrank enough that the surgeon then felt comfortable to go in and do the additional resection.
So right now, she does not have a brain tumor.
She does not have a brain tumor right now, and she has not had a brain tumor since September of 2021, since they removed it. That first post-treatment scan is definitely the most nerve-wracking. It's the one that determines, right, if you can go home or if you're gonna stay and if something else needs to happen. We got the scan, we got the all clear, and knowing that Emma was gonna be able to come here and to see friends and family, that was a wonderful experience.
I can't sit here and tell you for certain that I will walk my daughter down the aisle one day and hand her to somebody else. I'm gonna live my life like I will, and that's what this whole situation has done for me as like a father. I will not waste a day.
Even though ATRT as a more rare type of tumor, I do feel like with St. Jude involved that there is a cure in sight, not only for her cancer, but all types of cancer.
She is starting to do all of the things that a typical one-year-old starts to do, despite the fact that she's 2. So she's really making progress. The more confidence she gains, the faster she goes, and the faster she goes, the more she tries to do. You know, it gives me hope that she's going to be able to do the things she wants to do. And that's important to, I think, any parent, is their kid's ability to do what they dream of doing.
It's such a wonderful experience to watch your child grow and meet milestones and become independent. Especially when, at this time a year ago, we weren't sure that we would see her walk. It truly does feel like a miracle.
We're here, and she's still here. And I will give what I can to St. Jude for the rest of my life for what they've done for me.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard. And
Unfortunately, this is going to be one of those videos that doesn't want to work.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard.
Es una noticia que, pues, ningún...
Nope. Okay.
My kids are wonderful. They are very inquisitive. They love learning hands-on. They love to communicate and collaborate with each other. And that all ties into the 21st century skills that they will need.
I want to be a teacher when I grow up because I just want to help children get a good career and a good education so they can grow up to be other teachers or doctors like the doctors at St. Jude.
Our partnership with St. Jude is phenomenal. They sponsor one of our STEM clubs every year. We noticed how the COVID-19 pandemic affected the world, so we decided to get our students engaged in giving back to our community. So for Valentine's Day, the students had the opportunity to donate $1 to come out of uniform, and we titled our fundraiser, Show Love to St. Jude, Children Helping Children.
Donating would help them find more tools to help the cure of cancer. It makes me feel really good to know that I'm helping children in need at St. Jude.
Look at the chart. So this was an opportunity to tie in lessons that focus on kindness, compassion, empathy, and just being a good human being and caring for others. They're taking Danny Thomas's lesson to another level, and they're learning that caring is caring by donating that $1. We love St. Jude, and we love what St. Jude is doing for the children and for the families.
I would say to the kids at St. Jude, be strong, you can get through this, and stay positive, and everything will be okay.
We're just an average family with 4 young kids. They keep us very busy and they keep us on our toes.
And they're all special, but Sawyer just brings something to the table that's very unique.
Sawyer has a gift. He is an old soul. He has a heart that wants to do good for other people. His kindness shows in all of his daily actions.
We want our students to know their math facts, to know how to spell words and write sentences, but we also want them to grow to be good humans. And so we focus on taking action and inspiring them to be world changers.
My gifted teachers tasked us with finding a problem in the world and working towards a solution. I didn't have an idea, but then I saw a St. Jude commercial which sparked some questions.
Do kids really die of cancer? How do they get cancer? And sadly, we had to give them the answers that, unfortunately, there are childhood deaths due to cancer. It really bothered him. I could tell that he wanted to do something. I said, well, what could you possibly do? And he thought and thought, he said, I'm a great swimmer.
That was when I realized that's what I wanted to do for my project.
I'm thinking he's only 5 years old. How are we gonna tackle this? And shouldn't you be thinking of things a little less serious? But we had to embrace it. And how could we make this our mission? And that's kind of where he said, I'm gonna swim and I'm gonna fundraise for these kids.
It started off as, I want to raise $500 and swim
100
lengths of the pool. And he ended up that year $3,400 and swimming 100 lengths as a 5-year-old.
He realized how much support he got from the swimmers, the parents, friends of ours, family, And he realized they felt good about donating to this cause, which in turn made him feel like he needed to do more. So every year he just continues to up his goals and wants to continue this because he knows it's so much bigger than him.
It's really hard once I get to that 30-minute mark, but every single time, every single lap, I'm saying to myself, those kids are hurting even more. And they have to do that every day.
So when he's hitting a mental block or a physical block and thinking, I don't know if I can push on, instead of quitting, I'm gonna keep going because I'm doing something that's benefiting these kids.
I really think it's important for those kids to keep on fighting because they can't give up.
Sawyer swam 5,285 yards, and we are just under $17,000 this year.
It totals now between $65,000 and $70,000 over
7 years.
7 years.
It's important that he's raising these funds for St. Jude because ultimately someone is going to find a cure for cancer, and we sure hope it happens in our lifetime.
I hope this sparks other people to do some things like this because it's the little things that we should care about. Think of how far we could get to helping this world.
I have 2 girls diagnosed with sickle cell. It was not easy to receive that news. I just feel helpless at times. Just try to hold them and pray and talk to them. If Daddy can take it away from you, I would. It would affect them for the rest of their lives until we find a cure. I wanted to figure out what makes this tick. How do we fix this? I came to St. Jude and started working in pathology. And, you know, in pathology is where they do most of the blood testing and things of that nature. So I got a chance to see firsthand, you know, how that works. Working in a hospital was not on my radar, but because of what has happened in my family, that's been my shift and my focus. I try to be a part of any research that's going on as far as sickle cell or any kind of research as far as a cure coming along. I think St. Jude will hear my voice so loudly that everybody will come outside and see what's going on. And they will hear me yell, we finally found a cure. That is the goal. That's the goal. That's why I'm here. Not only for my family, but everybody else's family.
St. Jude, it means the world to me because I want my kid to be happy. I want him to feel safe. I want him to be happy no matter what the circumstances. And St. Jude, bringing that to him as, you know, much as they do, means everything to me. And then, of course, you know, saving his life is here. That's a big deal.
Part of our work at St. Jude is to focus on the whole child. So we're working on addressing their physical needs, their health needs, with treating their catastrophic illness, but then also along with social work, psychology, child life, spiritual care. Part of taking care of the whole child is providing them school support, giving them a sense of normalcy in an extraordinary setting.
At St. Jude School or Imagine Academy, we're going to get through this, we're going to get school, and we head home, we're going to go right back into school and be ready to go.
It brings them a sense of peace, learning and growing their minds and getting excited about new ideas.
Lo mejor es que los doctores me dejaron ir al colegio de aquí de San Jude. Para el futuro me gustaría ser una maestra. Y me gusta mucho estudiar y las matemáticas porque me gustan los números.
Their school program is amazing. They give you one-on-one time. When I went back to school, I was still up to date and actually ahead in some ways. Now, thank St. Jude for that, because I got to graduate on time with no problem.
To our donors, whoever you are, wherever you are, however little you do or however much you do, it makes a difference. And every bit all gets piled together to make the care that these kids receive possible.
Which is what any donor would want for their own child or their grandchild or their neighbor's child. St. Jude is hope. What you provide to St. Jude makes that possible. Hope lives every day in our school, and that's what it's all about.
Mi nombre es Ruth Carolina y trabajo como estilista. Para mí ser estilista es el ver a las personas con la satisfacción de sentirse innovada. Eso me conforta y me enorgullece. Me gustan las transformaciones, me gusta el cambio, me gusta ver el antes y el después. Estaba yo justo un día en la noche viendo la televisión.
Yo escuché la palabra cáncer en la escuela, que me estaba enseñando en ciencia, creo. Yo nunca pensé que iba a tocarme a mí.
Yo estaba recién llegada a Estados Unidos y pues nunca había visto una publicidad de St. Jude. Cuando yo vi el comercial de St. Jude, me conmovió mucho sus palabras. Conecté con ella, me inscribí y empecé a donar. Yo llegué por una compañía de eventos. Ellos me hablaron de atender a una quinceañera. Yo la estoy maquillando, estamos conversando y de repente de la nada sale la conversación de que ella es sobreviviente de cáncer. Y obviamente ella viene y me muestra la publicidad que ella había hecho cuando tenía 10 años. Y yo le dije, ya va, Tina, ¿este eres tú? Y me dice, sí, esa soy yo. Cuando yo me entero que la de la publicidad era la niña que yo estaba maquillando en ese momento, y yo le digo, no puede ser. Tina, yo por este comercial empecé a donar. Cuando vi a Tina ya lista para salir en su debut de quinceañera, honestamente me conmovió mucho verla tan feliz y se lo merece. Sin darme cuenta, llegué a su vida hace años atrás. Gracias que está el Hospital St. Jude. Son niños que lo necesitan. Son vidas que requieren ser salvadas. Ver que yo di un granito de arena y estoy aquí, valió la pena.
We're running out of warp and videos.
I am a supporter of St. Jude. I trained in both internal medicine and pediatrics. I really understand the care, the pediatric care related to cancer and blood disorders like sickle cell. St. Jude has been a pioneer in sickle cell care. They are looking to totally transform the care of sickle cell. St. Jude is even looking at what happens after these patients grow up. And they're really working with partners to really identify that big challenge that happens to patients with sickle cell once they grow out of the pediatric system. Seeing St. Jude really shine the spotlight on their care of sickle cell. As a Black physician, it is very meaningful. It's another great thing that I'm seeing out of St. Jude, and one that has been really great to support. During this race was the first time I got a chance to run with my dad. He'd been an avid runner, and I was late to loving running. And so the St. Jude race was the first time we ran a formal race together. And running through St. Jude campus, being cheered on by patients and their families, seeing how they engaged with the supporters. From that point, I was sold. I grew up about 30 minutes south of Memphis and realized that St. Jude was the hospital for those patients and families who were affected by pediatric cancer and blood disorders like sickle cell. And so really got a chance to see that through my patients, particularly those adult patients who are still coming back to St. Jude to have their follow-ups. I trained in both internal medicine and pediatrics. As a Black physician, it is very meaningful seeing St. Jude really shine the spotlight on their care of sickle cell and how transformative that is for minorities and marginalized communities around the world.
It shows a red line. Dark red is alcohol. So when we're looking at your Doppler, all it really tells me is a number, and that gives me an idea of how hard the blood's pushing.
The magic is that St. Jude pours so much into the families when they're going through a really devastating time.
Okay, you remember my room? Come on in.
Not only is there the provision of world-class care in the most compassionate way in which families don't receive a bill, but also the world-class research. And that research informs the care of pediatric patients all over the world. And it's so different from other places, the way in which St. Jude delivers that care. I recognize that there's probably no way you can pay it all back, but there is a way that you can pay it forward. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, and I'm the president of my chapter. We support St. Jude, or we came together to promote sickle cell, advocating for blood donations. And we were really successful in getting the message out. We were really successful at getting new donors. The best part is there's no amount of support that's too small. And the great part about St. Jude is seeing what that support from all corners of the world adds up to. The more supporters we can have, the better St. Jude can fulfill its really, really ambitious missions. So I'm a father. We really wanted to make sure that he sees his part in what we give. We created a donor advised fund, and we've added his name. Every time we're supporting St. Jude, he can see his name as being a part of that continuation of that work that's happening now. So he can look back and say, hey, I've been supporting St. Jude since I was 8.
And I have a lot more half-marathon medals.
Two words come to mind when I think about supporting St. Jude, and it's full circle. St. Jude providing that opportunity for my dad and I to run that first race together through the campus. The research of St. Jude around pediatric cancer, sickle cell disease, having an impact on my patients now and their families. And also to the care that's being provided right now for my 5-year-old cousin who was diagnosed with a brain tumor about 8 weeks ago. I've been supporting St. Jude all this time, and now there's a member of my family who's a beneficiary of that support. I've really thought about that full circle experience, and now what that's pushed me to do is to help bring others into my support. It doesn't matter so much what you make, but it's really important in what you give. I am a supporter of St. Jude. I trained in both internal medicine and pediatrics. I really understand the care, the pediatric care related to cancer and blood disorders like sickle cell. St. Jude has been a pioneer in sickle cell care. They are looking to totally transform the care of sickle cell. St. Jude is even looking at what happens after these patients grow up, and they're really working with partners to really identify that big challenge that happens to patients with sickle cell once they grow out of the pediatric system. Seeing St. Jude really shine the spotlight on their care of sickle cell, as a Black physician, it is very meaningful. It's another great thing that I'm seeing out of St. Jude, and one that has been really great to support. I am a supporter of St. Jude. Not only is there the provision of world-class care in the most compassionate way in which families don't receive a bill, but also the world-class research. One thing that we've really wanted to do for my son is to really make sure that he sees his part in what we give. We created a donor advised fund, and we've added his name. The best part has been the administration of the fund to allow for easy contributions to St. Jude. It's a set an amount that gets withdrawn every month, and then part of that withdrawal also comes at the end of the year. Our hope is that he can look back and say, hey, I've been supporting St. Jude since I was 8. Really communicating that message to him that it doesn't matter so much what you do, it doesn't matter so much what you make, but it's really important what you give.
Thank you for being with us tonight and supporting St. Jude kids like me.
About 4 or 5 years ago, I drew like on a canvas just emojis. And then they got an idea to put it on a launcher truck. It's pretty cool. Like, it was basically like the same design of my little truck, just 10 times bigger. It's just epic seeing that thing. I came home from a baseball game, and we went on a bike ride, and after I was gonna get in the shower, I had a lump on my right side of my hip. And we went to the hospital. They told me about 2 weeks later, and I had to go to Memphis, Tennessee to St. Jude. Cancer is not very nice. You always get sick. It's makes you feel horrible. Is not a great feeling. It's bad. But if you don't believe, you kind of giving up on yourself. But you gotta find light and just find hope. St. Jude is an amazing place, and I found hope and light, and I just went for it. Drawing. It's just calm, very slow, and that's why I like it. It's your R&B. Let it draw. Right now, I feel great. No more cancer. Cancer-free. So, I'm really happy. Thank you for saving lives. Yeah, that's about it.
You don't know me, but I'm alive because of you. I came into this world in 1977. The first couple years of my life were pretty normal. Teething, learning to walk, depriving my parents of sleep. But when I turned 2, I started getting ear infections that wouldn't get better. I would fall and get bruises that would never go away. After many trips to the doctor, they finally gave me a blood test. A couple of days later, my parents and I arrived at St. Jude. Acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Cancer. That was the diagnosis. Back in 1979, the survival rate for kids with ALL was about 50%. Today, it's about 94%. I remember sitting in these huge blue hospital recliners in the medicine room with an IV in my hand and talking to the other kids. I also remember the spinal taps. We called them back sticks. But I have many happy memories there too. My favorite thing to do was take one of the doctor stools from the exam room and ride it up and down the halls, spinning and bumping into every nurse and doctor along the way. I finished treatment in 1982. Everything was great with my health, but I experienced some difficulty learning in grade school due to some of the effects of the chemotherapy. After extra tutoring help, I finally began to thrive around middle school. It was about this time in my life I started drawing and coloring a lot. It was the one thing I could do that no one graded or told me I needed help with. It was relaxing to me. I put away all bad thoughts and just focused on art. It was my escape. By the time I got to high school, my grades were even better. I was taking art classes and I was even in the Art Honor Society. When it was time to go to college, my dad suggested I major in graphic design since I loved art so much. When I got my grades back at the end of the first semester, I found out I had made straight A's. I still had to study like crazy and I worked a full-time job and tried to have a social life. Then in 1998, my father passed away from a heart attack. It took me 7 years to finish, but my perseverance paid off because I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Graphic Design with honors. When I walked across that stage, I saw my sad younger self. The little girl who had cancer, the little girl who struggled so much in school, had finally graduated from college. I only wish my dad could have seen me walk across that stage, but I know he was looking down on me from heaven. Now I'm a mother of 2 kids. I often put myself in my parents' shoes. It's given me an even better understanding and appreciation of how St. Jude affects lives and families. My name is Adrian. St. Jude gave me a future, more than just a second chance at life. It helped me realize that hard work, perseverance, and the will to never give up will take you further than you've ever dreamed. Sometimes you have to get through the worst to get to the best. If it wasn't for supporters like you, my story would not be possible. You give kids and their families hope. Thank you.
Time for some tactical, Grandma.
My name's Michelle Statham, and I go by Tactical Grandma online. I've been gaming since I was 7 and Pong came out. I started streaming October 1st, 2019. My husband and my son were both like, you should stream now. And I'm like, no one's going to watch someone my age play video games. They're like, well, then you don't have anything to worry about if no one's going to be there. And I think what drew people to my stream is I tried to create a community that was inviting to everyone, that was safe, that everybody felt welcome. The first 2 streamers I watched would always do charity streams, and St. Jude was one of the ones they would do, and I was like, wow, that's a really neat idea to be able to use your platform to raise money to help people. I think we raised $100 the first time, and but Facebook matches, like that's $200. So it's $200. It's gonna help the families and their kids at St. Jude. The reason St. Jude's so important is because they help the families. I can imagine what those families are going through being a mom, being a grandma. So the fact that St. Jude comes alongside them and supports them, I'm gonna get emotional. Like it's so important that these families get this help. You're gonna do anything you can to help your kids. We just do fun things during the stream to engage the audience, to kind of give them incentives to want to donate. We're raising money for St. Jude's Pro. We're doing gross things today for the kids. I've eaten jelly beans that taste like dishwater and dirty socks, and I've worn a puppy costume that was really puffy and played in it. I played blindfolded while my husband told me, what was happening. So just ways that we can help make it fun. Hey guys, I'm Tactical. What I hope people take away from coming into my streams, watching me, is you're never too old to chase your dreams. I also would like people to maybe look at me and say, hey, she went out there, she raised money for St. Jude. She raised awareness. I could do that too. That's what I would want, because it's a good organization that does wonderful things for the kids. It's all about the kids, 100% all about the kids.
Hi, my name is Carly. I'm a St. Jude Partner in Hope, and I'm 10. I learned about St. Jude whenever I was in preschool. We did a bike and track day, and we could ride scooters or tricycles or bicycles and raise money for St. Jude. I just like helping people, and I like how it feels to help other people. I use the money that I get for my allowance, which is $20, and I give it for St. Jude.
I actually didn't know much about St. Jude, how it all worked or where St. Jude was based or anything like that. I actually took the lead from my daughter in doing research and learning about what St. Jude came from. We're a part of saving people's lives and giving them an opportunity to live life at the fullest.
The kids that need help, I just want them to get better.
It does that at the end of this video every time.
My name is Jim Borzak, born and raised in Peoria, Illinois, working with my brother since 2001. Our connection to St. Jude started with my grandfather back in the 1950s. So Danny came to ask for support with this idea of building this hospital. And that was sort of the beginning of our involvement with St. Jude. St. Jude has been part of a broader base of our family than just my grandfather. My cousin Nick Zosky's daughter became a St. Jude patient. When you hear that news, it's just devastating. But yet, knowing that he was going straight to St. Jude, it gives you hope. It just drives you to continue to help St. Jude. Thank God it's there for everyone who does need it. I talked to my brother and said, I want to do something more for St. Jude. Then the ride idea came about because that was a passion of mine, riding motorcycles. I think our first year we had 50 bikes. We raised around $300,000 that year. Before COVID, we broke $1 million. We're certainly looking to do over $1 million again next year. It's grown a lot, and there's a lot of committed people, and that, I believe, is what shows the goodness in people, and that brings hope that there is going to be a cure, and nobody's going to stop until there is. Knowing my grandfather contributed in and started sort of our family legacy. And then when I'm coming through those gates, it's like they're living on through the event and through me. You feel like what you're doing really matters, and it does. We should have something bigger than ourselves in our lives, and that's what St. Jude is for me. It's giving back, and it's something way bigger than me. It equates to the hope for all those families that get the news that nobody wants to get. Knowing St. Jude's there for them and able to give them that hope, there's no price you can put on
that. So I had to do the block dance and band dance since my mod's at work.
One of his nurses nicknamed him the kid with the magic smile. Cameron, we found, had a specific type of medulloblastoma, but thank goodness through the research they learned that there was a specific type of treatment for Cameron's cancer, and it was, very effective. You know, he responded, the way he responded was just, it's still amazing. It's like the sun slowly rising. It's better and better. There is no other place that will care for you and your child the way St. Jude is going to. I was here because I wanted my son to get the best treatment, but now I say that I feel like I'm part of the family.
I'm Hazel and I am 9 years old. I used my creativity to make some art. I have this one. It took me a while and there is a big heart, some cool designs at the very bottom. We did it at the hospital and it makes me feel happy that I finished.
Hazel is, just a free-flowing spirit. Every time she's doodling, she's writing, be magic, be kind, show bravery. It's sweet.
I said love. I just was doodling right there.
Hazel was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at the beginning, and when we arrived at St. Jude, her body wasn't responding the way that it was supposed to right off the bat. So after more testing and because of the wonderful research from St. Jude, they were able to give her a target therapy that specifically targeted those cancer cells. So Hazel is proof that the research that they are doing is working.
You have to be creative with art. You have to use many colors and not just a gray crayon. Like this one. It's the world of colors. We kind of made this. We used our hand and cut it out and we decorated it.
Sky's the limit. I want her to go and just see the world and enjoy it. St. Jude is everything. It's made our child whole and happy and smiling daily, and we are forever grateful.
Thank you.
When I found out I was pregnant, I wanted a little boy. And so I was so extremely happy when I found out I was having a little boy. Cameron was always full of energy. He loved to say his alphabet, anything that involved learning, he loved it, and he still does. The daycare called and they said that Cameron was crying all day and he didn't want to walk. His primary care physician said that it looked like he had leukemia, but she wasn't sure, and she had to send us to St. Jude where they had specialists. And so we went to St. Jude a day later, and they drew labs, and we found out that evening that Cameron had leukemia. As a parent, you want to be there by your child's side every step of the way, and to know that you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay for it. It just makes you more grateful for life. Seeing the way that Cameron was loved and taken care of, that gave me hope that there was a good end to all of this. Cameron is back to his full personality. I mean, I just really admire him. He's my son, but I look up to him. Like, who do you know that could have went through what he went through, and he's coming out just still the same, smiling, laughing. His personality is so big. Hope. Hope is what St. Jude gave me.
I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and when I was 28 years old in 1991, we came to the United States, and well, I can tell you how I felt when this started. First, I felt very angry about what was going on and what has been done to my homeland, and then anger, went away and was replaced by deep sadness. Tens of thousands of people have died, and innocent people like children are now in a position that no children should be in. And it was heartwarming for me to see the patients that have been evacuated from Ukrainian hospitals to Poland and then to other countries. And that's something that St. Jude and ELSA global teams were working on and partnering with their foundational partners there. And so what we have an opportunity to do at ELSA and St. Jude is we have an opportunity to save lives. And that's why we exist. We exist to save lives of children, regardless of their national origin, color, creed. It doesn't matter. Children are children. And I was absolutely ecstatic to learn that the patients are coming here, and I had an opportunity to go and meet them at the airport. And that was definitely the best I felt in decades, to be able to see those families, and I reassured them that they are in the best hospital in the world, and their children will get the best treatment, and that this place will do everything for them 100%. Because I know from me working at St. Jude and working at ELSAC, I know that St. Jude doesn't do things 99.99%. St. Jude does things 100%. That I know for sure. There is absolutely no doubt about that.
We're at the end, so it's becoming tougher to get the tensioning here.
I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and when I was 28 years old in 1991, we came to the United States, and well, I can tell you how I felt when this started. First, I felt very angry about what was going on and what has been done to my homeland, and then anger, went away and was replaced by deep sadness. Tens of thousands of people have died, and innocent people like children are now in a position that no children should be in.
So
And,
he's part of LSAC, which is their global
it was
initiative.
heartwarming for me to see the patients that have
St.
been
Jude.
evacuated from Ukrainian hospitals to
So he
Poland
makes
and
sure
to other
that
countries.
not
And
just
that's something
Ukraine,
that
but
St. Jude and Elsa
other
global teams were working on and partnering
countries,
with their
other hospitals
foundational
all around the world
partners
are
there. And so
involved
what,
in St. Jude
we have an
and
opportunity to
getting
do
those patients
at Elsa and
to
St. Jude is
St.
also an
Jude.
opportunity to save lives, and that's why we exist. We exist to save lives of children, regardless of their national origin, color, creed. Doesn't matter. Children are children, and I was absolutely ecstatic to learn that the patients are coming here, and I had an opportunity to go and meet them at the airport, and that was definitely the best I felt in decades. You know, to be able to see those families, and I reassured them that they are in the best hospital in the world, and their children will get the best treatment, and that this place will do everything for them 100%. Because I know from me working at St. Jude and working at LSAC, I know that St. Jude doesn't do things 99.99%. St. Jude does things 100%. That I know for sure. There is absolutely no doubt about that.
Is that last one just a different size?
In the case of these patients, these 4 patients that came to Memphis on Monday, they learned at some point, you are going to board a bus and then fly to America. Many of these patients had never left the country of Ukraine, much less ever traveled on a plane before. And so they had quite the experience. This was a small plane. I've never been on a plane so small in all of my life, so they probably felt the air as they were flying over Europe, landing in Iceland to refuel, continuing their journey to Washington, D.C., refueling there, meeting the Border Patrol, who were elated to be able to help them with their journey, boarding once again on a plane, and landing in Memphis. And from there, I remember a patient mother asking me, and how much longer do we have to go? And I said, it's only 15 minutes from here. And she was so relieved. What I think that they will learn in short time is that this is a hospital, and the comprehensive services that it offers is unlike anything that they would have been able to promise their child at home in Ukraine. Even if we can do nothing about the one battle that they are facing, the fact that they've had to leave their homes, that at least we give them a chance to survive cancer and to fight that battle and to, meet many people who care about their fate along the way.
We're literally like 3 turns away. Not even. And we're on the last video.
She said, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to raise money for St. Jude. And she wrote a speech. And I'm going to ask people to support the hospital, and this is what I'm going to say. Haley was in the 4th grade. She was 10 years old, and she was into everything.
I loved spending time with my friends, watching Bruce Lee movies because we were all really into martial arts.
She was doing taekwondo, and she started complaining about her knee hurting.
So I took some ibuprofen, felt a little bit better, but then it started coming back and got worse.
We were leaving school, and she was kind of limping, kind of dragging her leg and limping, and I was like, what's the matter? And she said, my knee hurts.
At that point, my mom looked at my leg and saw about an orange-sized tumor above my left knee.
And I just knew something serious was wrong. The doctor took one kind of look at it. She said, you need to go have an x-ray, right now.
And I'll never forget, she immediately brought us into her office, showed us the x-ray and said, this is bone cancer, osteosarcoma.
That was the first time we heard the word cancer. I just felt so helpless.
And I just said, I don't want to die, because everyone I had known at age 10 who had cancer had passed away. And I thought cancer was a death sentence.
My disease is called osteosarcoma, and it's a bone cancer. It's very serious. If you don't catch it fast, it spreads.
It wasn't until we went to St. Jude a few days later when I actually started feeling hope. When we walked in the doors of St. Jude, we walked up to the front desk, and I'll never forget, my mom tried to say my name and just burst into tears. The receptionist came from around the desk and gave my mom a big hug.
She goes, it's gonna be okay. She said, you're part of the St. Jude family now, and we're gonna take care of her, and we're gonna take care of you too. And that's when I knew I was at the right spot.
And honestly, truer words were never spoken. We really became a family.
The tumor's both inside the bone and grows out of the bone.
So her tumor was in the end of the thigh bone, just above the knee joint, all the way to the knee joint, so it involved the growth plate. Biggest growth plate in the leg is the one right above the knee, which we had to resect. So we put in at that time, fairly new prosthesis called the Phoenix, which allowed expansion of the prosthesis to keep the legs equal until she reached skeletal maturity.
It would expand my leg about 2 centimeters in 30 seconds, which ultimately saved me several surgeries and just gave me so much more quality of life. Without having to go through surgery after surgery, the prosthesis could expand every time I needed to grow.
I'm trying to lift my leg like my right leg, but I can't do that yet because my muscle isn't strong enough.
It's her enthusiasm, her determination that we saw, the way she rehabbed, the way she fought her disease. It really is, it's a fight. And she took the fight to the osteosarcoma and she won.
St. Jude made it so that we really didn't have to worry about hospital bills and those kinds of things, and we could just focus on having time with her, because nothing was guaranteed.
When you're dealing with a catastrophic illness like this, it is something where you have to try to live in the present, and you have to enjoy those moments, because that might be all you have.
My dad died of kidney cancer 2 years ago, and it was so difficult watching from the sidelines. And I remember whenever I was going through treatment, just really feeling like I was the one going through it. But whenever I saw him suffer and just feeling so helpless, I realized what a hard experience it was for the families.
I just loved you.
Cancer made me who I am. But not just cancer, St. Jude. I knew from when I was in treatment that all I wanted to do was work at St. Jude. So when I got my dream job, it was the happiest moment of my life. And it's the happiest thing that's ever happened to me. It's truly the biggest honor of my life, getting to work with these kids. What's your move?
St. Jude gave me my child's life, and they kept her spirit.
St. Jude saves lives. I mean, not only did they save my life, but getting to work here, I see these brave kiddos. I wrote this speech when I was 10 because I wanted to grow up and raise money for St. Jude. And I told my mom, I was like, this is what I'm gonna say. They saved my leg and they saved my life. For me, St. Jude didn't feel like a cancer hospital, but a place where I was surrounded by love.
There it is. Hi. So, hello. No, the top of my head's cut off. But there's a fluffy thing right here. Now thanks, I'm gonna give her all the attention in the world. No, you are not. I know you used to sleep right here, but that was when you were this big. Now you are this big. And it's been like 9 years, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Your hips say no to that, and so do mine. I know. Let's finish this up. But hi everybody. We watched all the acid videos today. We're literally, Friday's the last day, and then you guys won't see me until, next year on April 1st, and it will not be an April Fool's joke. This year we did, we streamed over all but, 3 days. We missed 3 days. One, my nephew was born. What was the other day? Oh, I had to work because they sent me to a training meeting. And then we missed, not yesterday, but the day before. We missed Sunday because I saved a duckling. So, and I had to take it down to the wildlife center. Yeah. We've only missed 3 days in the 2 months of streaming that we've done. You know, sick or not, you know, I've been here in super rough shape. Even if it was for, 30 minutes, we still did something. And that's all we can do is be here, right? Be present. Live life in the moment and do what we can in that moment. So we're gonna hang out for a little while longer while I finish this up. We'll move, please. Thank you. I don't know if you guys can see the ties, but we're on the last little bits of the paper. It's just really stuck in the stuff that's right next to the beam. So this will probably be the last section of color here. Are you still helping? Yeah, I know it's warm in here. We'll open up the windows here in a hot minute here. They were doing, since yesterday was a holiday. Hey baby bear. Hey Savage. Yes, here's the puppers. Ads! Yep. No. know, your savage uncle is watching now. Now you have to be an instigator. See how it is. No, you're not helping. Not gonna help that way. I think we wove this whole thing except for maybe about like 4 inches of it. I had most of it started when we started stream today. What could possibly go wrong? I can see. Well, very important, pupper. Yeah. What are you doing? No, we're finishing this. She's been going on daily walks. Her and Taryn have been doing 3-mile walks every day. Where she poops everywhere. So she'll get to do that hopefully this afternoon, pending the weather. It was raining this morning, so we'll see how that goes. I gotta advance it and hope that it goes further. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. And that's it. That's as far as she's going to go. Uh-oh. No, it's not because of that. That's the problem that I have with the smaller looms, like the table looms like this. Like a ridge heddle, I'd have possibly a little bit more space because you can move the ridge heddles up and back because your reed, which is this part. This is a reed. It's like $50 a piece. No, yes. Yes, I am in Christmas pajamas. I'm in snowflakes. I'm thinking of coldness. Don't worry. When I rescued the duck on Sunday, I was in Peanuts pajama pants that said ho ho ho. So on Saturday, when I was wearing those pajama bottoms, Taryn came in here right after I ended stream and sat on my lap and goes, "And I want a pony." Yeah. He came in, sat on my lap and said, "I want a pony." I have a box downstairs with a My Little Pony that I might just give to him and be like, "Here's your pony. You brat." Okay, so trying to do this so-called easy way, 'cause it's not an easy way. It's definitely a hard way. Just gotta get the dang thing over here. Phew. This comes here. That's kind of one of the things that I like about weaving versus crocheting is this is it, and all I have to do is wash it and then cut my ends, and then it's done. There. This doesn't need to be that long. Here's the fun part. Or just draw him a pony. I've only ever drawn one person a pony, and that was my grandfather who passed away. So I will not draw ponies anymore. I drew him a pony for his last sermon. That's not how we typically do these. Yeah. And 4. So are we at 5? Who is your friend on the floor with you, Shani? What? That one? That's Willow. Otherwise, there's no... Or are you talking about that thing? This thing is a bear that we got for like $3, and it says "Happy Birthday." This is this one's toy. It was on clearance. I thought you were going to tell me that there was a spider crawling across the floor, and then we would have had new words. And the stream would abruptly end with me smashing everything in my office. Okay. I'd be before Ted walking in and be like, "What the hell, Shanny?" I know. Had to tighten some things before I started weaving. There's a few strands that were a little loose. Okay. So now, we come over here. Problem is, I cut it. I tied them a little too close. here. I could be able to tie these. This is such a small. Oh, this is going to be a challenge. Oh, I threw it at Willow. Yeah, it's Willow's toy. Okay, this one's not wanting to tie. There we go. Okay. How many do we do before I did the 3? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These little Pete's. What are we at? 6? We're at 6. 7. This is 8. This one gets 3. I can't tie these anymore. This one's so much shorter. Oh my gosh, what did I do? What have I done? Okay, we're just gonna let it sit for it now until I figure out what I'm gonna do with the fringe. But this is what we made. I'll bring it up to the camera here and show you guys the weave. It's just what is called a basic, it's a basic weave, so it's just a basket weave in a way. A basket weave means under over. Typically it's 2 and 2. 2 strands up, 2 strands down, but I did 1 and 1. So it's, yeah. So, there's the texture. It looks a lot more red on screen. It is actually pink, like maroon pink and turquoise. So, yeah, it's looking a lot more red than it should be. But yeah. Time to clean this mess up here. This is called Chaos that I insured for myself that I have to clean up probably later tonight when I get done with work. Maroon is more of a red, but this is more of a like fuchsia. Sorry, this is more of a fuchsia, not a red. Like the camera is not completely doing it justice. It looks more purple down there than it does up next to the camera. Oh, anyway. That is going to conclude the stream for the day. I have to start getting ready for work because I do work at 2 today. So, and I need to go eat foods and all that stuff and get ready. Yeah, she wants me to go eat foods. So much love. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Which will be, hold on, if I go to this screen and I go here, properties, we're going to change this up in the top corner. 2 days. 2 days. So, much love. We'll see you next time. And I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll probably play some Eco tomorrow. So, later. Bye.